We're going to go on a hot mess beginning of August garden tour. And I wanted to show you my lemon balm is doing really good. I haven't harvested it yet this summer. And I'm thinking that's why it's probably going to seed. So I need to get that dealt with. So I have some good lemon balm for tea for the winter. And I've got 2 pots of it. This one's really going to seed and it's doing really good. This was the pot that died and didn't make it through the winter. So I'm really happy about that. My lemongrass is amazing. Last year I think I had 5 sprigs of it. I just planted the whole packet in each pot. So I was going to have lemongrass. So now I have to figure out how to harvest it. So, and then these are chocolate cherry sunflowers. I thought that they would be, that's not a chocolate cherry, that's not that dark. This one is. I thought that they would be taller and bigger, but they're really pretty just the same. This is my blueberry tomato. It came up as a volunteer, and I just kind of let it go, and I haven't pruned it. I tried to do single stem pruning on my tomatoes, but this one I let go because he's on the fence, and I was curious how it would play out, and he's doing okay so far. My peppers are starting to have issues with falling over. They're getting so tall. And I've got beans at the base of this. And I've got a Kajari back there that's not doing good. None of the Kajari melons did well at all. I don't know that I'm going to grow them again. My Marconis are doing really well. I've picked quite a few. My jungle here of Marconis. I've got a lot of them in here. Hopefully when it cools off a little bit this next week, I'll get some more blossoms. I think it's been so hot they haven't been able to blossom. Here's a bean beetle. Let's get rid of him real quick. And then, let's see. I've got some long beans. I had hoped that I'd have a lot more hanging from the top to give it a dramatic look with my Sartre-lace tomatoes and my rainbows. And it's getting there, but it started out so cold, I think. Cool this year, it didn't give it that big boost like we had last year. And when my long beans are on the bottom, so I'm hoping it catches up. I haven't picked a lot of zinnias this year because the bees haven't been as prolific as they were last year. Last year I had quite a few bees, so sorry, I got in the shadow there. So I've kind of left a lot of my flowers. I have seen more bees since I've been doing that. Got more blossoms for my yard-long beans. And my Sartre-lace little tomato. Here, he's got a branch here. I think I may just leave him though. He is starting to really take off. And I think I picked the first one a little too early. He didn't really have that pineapple-y taste, so I'm gonna let a couple of them get a lot riper before I eat them. And my Swiss chard is about charded out. And my chamomile has not been able to take the heat, so I need to clip this down and harvest what I've got. I did replant some chard on each side here of my arbor, my entrance arbor, and I do have some little Charente melons, I believe is what these are, and I've got a big one over here. He's about ready to fall out of his hammock. I don't know if this little guy is going to make it or not. But I've got a couple of these going, and I think he might be I'm not sure what he is. I think he's a Charente. My potatoes, this is my 3rd round of potatoes because my 2nd round died, and it looks like they're doing well in the big gray pots. My carrots, I've picked quite a few carrots already. Some of them just aren't big enough yet. So I just replanted some carrots in a couple other containers. So I'm wanting to get more carrots. These are Atomic Reds. I really like those. And the Black Nebula, I don't know if it was the heat, but they had kind of a bitter taste to them. I think it may have been the heat. So I'm going to try some more of those. My beans, I replanted my green beans. I've got some here I need to pick. But there's a lot of green beans, so I'm going to right on this side of the garden. And down here are green beans also. Let's go around here where you can see a little better. Here's my beautiful basil, Genovese basil. And I'm quite proud of this guy. This is my clary sage. And then I've got a lemon balm. that was in a little container back here, and I've just kind of neglected him, and he is now rooted in the pot, so I gotta fix his problem there. And I forgot to show you, I think this is ashwagandha, so I've got to look this up. He's like the only one that survived, and then these little guys, I don't think they're ashwagandha. I've got to look that up. I've got evening primrose that is very, very crowded, so I need to get that thinned out and figure out where I'm going to put it, because it's a perennial. It's getting a little warm already. Got ice in my coffee today. It's getting a little ridiculous this week. So here are some more peppers, and these are mainly pimento peppers. They're pretty good. They grow pretty quick too. This is my amaranth. I had some Japanese beetles earlier this year. I've never grown amaranth, so I was a little leery on picking a lot of the leaves, but you can see the damage it's done. But these guys are starting to go to seed, so I'm happy about that, and they're really pretty. I tried them in a hanging basket, and they didn't like that. I didn't realize how big they would get, so I put some cinnamon basil in the hanging baskets. But it would have looked really pretty hanging down, but I think that's a different type of amaranth, so I haven't seen the birds trying to get to the seed yet, and if it reseeds itself right here by the potting shed, I think that'd be great. And these zinnias are a mixture of zinnias, trying to keep seeds off the ones I really like this one is beautiful. I love this. And then I've got some little baby ones. I forget what they're called. Look how tiny this guy is, though. Isn't that cute? They're just so tiny. And they have a lot of, I'm doing this business again, a lot of the mildew on them. And this little guy's going to seed, my peppermint. I think this is the lion's ear that came up on its own. I'm going to let him have at it. Got some long beans that are really big. And I've got some kajari, I think, and a Charntay. Charntay's got a melon on him, but the kajari, no, I pulled the kajari. They just haven't done well at all. Get some more of this peppermint smell. It's amazing. Let's see, we'll go next. This is a chamomile. You can see how it's just not happy at all. And I've got a couple lefskia peppers. I've got some over there in the pepper bed, but I've got some extras put over here. And then this is butterfly weed, and the squash bug is on him, so let's just take care of that. Up, up, up. But I think I need to bring him out in the sun a little bit more. I just haven't done it. It's been so hot, it's hard to think clear in the garden. But I need to get him out there. I believe this guy here is a holy basil. I looked it up. He doesn't look like what I had last year. I think I had a different type. But that's what I planted here, and that's what he looks like. So I think this is holy basil. This is my yarrow. And I've clipped a lot of flowers off of him, a lot of stems too. He's got a little, well, his bloom is bloomed. But he needs to be clipped back too. I've got a lot of TLC to do. And this is my not tomatillo. Get around here. I tried really hard to plant tomatillos, and this is a ground cherry. So I have ground cherries in my green stalk, but I really wanted a tomatillo, so I don't know what to think of that. And this is another rainbow, I believe, tomato. And he's doing pretty decent. He's got some big tomatoes on him. And then behind me, I've harvested out of here with all the clover. I harvested all my onions. And I'm restarting some fall zucchinis in here. Trying to get some zucchini out of it. Somewhere in there I have a watermelon. And here are my leeks. And the leeks are getting pretty fat now, all of a sudden. I did give them some nitrogen. I haven't grown leeks before. And some of them are really nice and fat. So I gotta double check on this to see if I need to harvest them or not. And then the carrots aren't quite ready yet. I just planted some more in this back pot over here. And I've run out of seeds, so I gotta take care of that. Oh, there's a little ladybug. Are you a real ladybug? Not sure what he is. might be a beetle of some sort, I don't know. It's a beetle of some sort. I got chili peppers, these are doing well. I picked a couple of them. These are my Kellogg's tomatoes, and I'm anticipating tomatoes from them, and they have not done well back here. This may be my first one right here, and what he's got going on. Just not sure about this bed. I thought he had plenty of compost and everything else, but he doesn't seem happy back here. Peppers like it. So back here, got my Balm. I put some baking soda on him. He was not happy with the mildew back here. So I clipped a lot of him down, and he's not looking too good right now. But he's starting to get some nice green leaves on him again, and hopefully he'll take off. And over here I've got some Cherokee purples. I picked a few off of these. Oh no. I just stepped on my strawberry starts. But he's doing really good, and he's stretched out and everything, and I think I'll probably get some tomatoes off of him before long. My kale is sad right now. It's, August, but he's had a lot of, not so much the cabbage moth problems, but we've had those harlequin bugs, the harlequin beetles, and I'm still picking some off of this guy over here, and I keep killing them and squishing them. I've sprayed. I'm trying to find one now. I killed quite a few last night, but they really like this guy over here. But I just gave them an all-purpose fertilizer and some trifecta and some nitrogen, some blood meal, and I think they'll start taking off after it gets a little bit cooler, and it'll be sweeter kale too. But I hate to just chop them down and start from the beginning. I think they'll still produce, because I had one last year that went all through the winter. So here's my lion's ear. I need to harvest him too. And he's got a friend. Where's his friend at? Oh, he's all the way over there. He's really tall. I'll show you here in a second. These little guys, I tried to plant onions, and it's just been so hot. So I think I'm going to try it again and get them out in the sun a little bit more. I've got several strawberry starts I'm trying to take root. This guy here was overloaded with strawberries, and had runners everywhere, even through the layers onto the other side. So I had to pull all those out, and now he's, that's not a good leaf there, but he's perked up a lot, and he looks a lot better. And he's had some, I gave him trifecta and some azomite, and he's looking a lot better. Here, scooch out, baby. Don't step on the strawberries. Don't step on my strawberries. No. So I'm hoping to get roots on these guys. A lot of them do have roots already. And then I'm going to add them in spaces that don't have strawberries. Like these are starts right here. Runners, rather. And he's got one on him. So I'm going to pick him now while I see him, so don't get out of hand. And here are my neighbors over there. They're working hard too this morning. Here's my potatoes. Are doing good. Like I said, this is my second round of potatoes. So I'm hoping they do well. I'm not being too picky about picking the grass and stuff off of them. It's been so hot. My little nasturtium, he was little, and I was trying to find a spot for him to, I'm going to pick these weeds, I think. And here's another potato came up. I thought I'll just put him up here, and that'll help keep away the little bugs that get all over your potatoes, the potato beetles and such. And so I put him up there, and he's huge now. I don't think I have, I do have one here. This is the size of what he was, so I have no idea. But yeah, he grew like this, so I have no clue. And I think I found my evening primrose that was here last year. That's amazing. He was huge, and there he is. I didn't think he came back, but he sure is. He's right there. This is my other lemon balm, bee balm. And he's always struggled. He's got mildew on him too. I don't understand. Didn't really have that issue last year. There's some more chamomile and the spilanthes that needs to be trimmed, along with this guy. And this is the lime green envy zinnia. And I don't know if I like these or not, because they tend to do this when they start to get a little old. here I've got some, where are you guys? What kind of tomatoes are you? These are Cherokees. They look a little bit orangey for Cherokees, but we'll see. It's another Lesia pepper. And I've got some squash. I tried to sneak in over here. The squash in my green stalk is not doing so great because the squash bugs keep going after it. And I've just been very persistent killing these little guys. I think I just hurt that leaf. But they're just ridiculous. It's starting to get really warm. Oh, I've got okra to pick. I love these okra blossoms too. They're so pretty. Let's see if I can give you a shot of that. Isn't he pretty? So these are prolific okra. I would not say that they're prolific at all. I'd say they're average okra. I've not seen prolific, and these plants here have stayed the same size all summer. And then these are big, so I have no idea. And they've all got the same fertilizers and everything. This is the other lion's ear, and it's time for him to be harvested. These things are great. They're really pretty. The bugs love them. But once these little green guys here get hard, they're like needles. And he's probably spread seeds because I've wasted time. I've been lazy about harvesting him, and he's got petals down here too, so I bet you anything he's dropped his seeds. And I've got some Christmas pole lima beans, and I had a stray tomato I didn't know what to do with, and it seems like he's a Sart Relace, so I'm happy about that. Let's see, where else do we need to go? I think that's about it. I think that's all I've got. I'm not going to show you the pickles because the cucumbers are really, really sad. I replanted my cucumbers. And then I replanted green beans. They should be coming up this week. I replanted long beans. I replanted long beans here in my entrance arch. And I replanted chard. And I'm going to do broccoli. I'm going to do some broccoli. The light is just awful right now. I'm going to replant my broccoli. And I've got to get some cabbage seed. And I have some more squash and zucchini seed that's coming in the mail. And then I'm going to put him in the kiddie pool over there. And I think once I harvest my leeks, I'll put some more squash over there. And then take my mammoth dill over there and get his seeds and plant some more dill around my squash and protect them. So I have a lot of harvesting to do. So it's pretty wild and messy right now. So that's the Hot Mess August garden tour.